What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host, Vernon. This is the Forks. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, it is not uncommon for me to do something like 100 kilometers to drive to a fishing spot. Well, today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I actually got on the Winnipeg transit bus system this morning, took a little bus drive to get down here to the Forks, here in the heart of Winnipeg. So I just basically have a backpack and a rod. We're going to use that out there today, see if we get on some fish. Alright, but before we can get any fish, we need to get some baits in the water to start a chance. So let's get to that. Right, so I have a simple setup using a little Carolina rig with just one hook out there, and we got some night crawlers on that. We'll see if we get any catfish or anything going for the night crawlers. Now, luckily, I'm not the first person to fish here. We have a few other makeshift rod holders. I'm going to be using that out there because I don't have any of my rod holders out here. We'll test them to see whether they are sturdy or not. I've been to the Forks many times before, but I don't fish here quite often, which is rather sad because this is a particular good spot to fish where the Assiniboine meets the Red River. This is a place that has been known throughout the years being a good spot. Seeing a few little taps, we'll just see if that fish gets the hook or not. So even before we had everything built around here, this was a meeting place for people. This is a place where lots of people have fished. So it's exciting to spend some time here and do my own little bit of fishing. Of course, I am using a size 2 odd circle hook that might be a little bit big for most of the fish down there. So we'll just see whether that fish actually gets the little hook there. Otherwise, we might swap out to smaller hooks to see what fish are out there, because I can see quite a lot of activity, quite a lot of fish in the area. Alright, but that's the plan. Let's do some fishing. Continuously getting a bunch of tiny little taps, so I don't want any fish to swallow the hook. I think I'm just going to check the baits. You can feel we have quite a lot of snags and things in the water. I think that is why it's a good idea to be using a little Carolina rig. It's something that goes through the water rather easy, but I'm using a different type of lead weight. This is not your typical Carolina rig thing that can move up and down. We can see some things nibbling on our baits. Might be too small a piece. We'll just get it out there and rebait it in a few minutes if we don't get any hits. So my line keeps sinking. We had a little tap or two that continues to sink. So I'm thinking something is swimming towards us. And there we go, indeed something has our baits. Feeling quite a lot of head shakes. See all of the bait fish jumping out of the way. We don't have a landing net out here. We do have our lip grippers, however. Let's first see what we got. Probably a little channel catfish. Got our weight there all tangled up. But we should be able to flip this guy. He's not that big. There we go, circle hook. Got him nice. The corner of the mouth, the way you want them to. Alright, so just want to give this guy some oxygen so we can have a look at him. Catfish can stay out of the water for a relatively long time compared to other fish, but still not a good thing to do. We want to keep them in the water, keep them oxygenated, especially in summer. You don't want to keep these guys out of the water longer than necessary. But that's our first little fish for today landed. Lovely little catfish. Right here from the Red River and the Assiniboine River where they meet. Let's get this guy back to the water. Gonna drop him down head first. And off he goes. Strong, good kick from him. That tells you they're still vitalized, and he swam off. Alright, so just gonna rebait, get the baits back out there. There we have a fish on, I think. We haven't had any hits or any moves on the rod, so I didn't know we have a fish on. Wanted to reel into recast, and I think we have something on. Someone else's line. So not a fish, at least an old sinker we can use. I want to point out that I've been trying out there for quite a while. I haven't had any hits. Swapped out to a different setup using a little pickerel rig. The idea being having two hooks. I'm seeing quite a lot of activity, and I think there's some fish feeding up higher up in the water column. Yeah, having the baits down on the bottom, I'm not getting these fish higher up. That's why I opted for a different setup where we have higher baits to maybe get some different fish. I'm also going to be moving around. I want to try near the little bridge there for a moment. Maybe try in the Red River itself where I'm seeing fish jump. I'm going to move around. If we have any fish, I'll bring you guys to it. Alright, so we have some movement on our rod. Been quite a while since we got a fish. Happy to get on a fish again. Just saw something splashing out there. He just came loose. Was a little goldeye. I'm saying little, that was a rather big goldeye. But at least we got another bite. Though we didn't get to land that fish, at least we got to see him. Little goldeye. Right, I'm just going to get the baits back out there. Hopefully that means the bite will pick up again. We finally got a little goldeye in. Decent size goldeye. Goldeye have to be 14 inches in Manitoba to be a master. This one is a 12-incher. He still has a lot of growing to do, so let's get him back to the water. Lovely little goldeye. Gave him a bit of a drop. He started wriggling and I loosed my grip and we dropped him, but he's swimming off, so all good. Be sure that when you do drop fish, that you drop them into the water. That just cushions the fall. You don't want that fish to be dropping on the ground. Get him back to the water. Don't know what we have on, maybe another goldeye. They do put up quite a good fight. You can see how they pull on the rod there. Quite a lively bunch for such a small fish. Don't want to force this fish in too quickly. We are using big circle hooks for the catfish. And because of that, they can get off of the circle hooks. This is actually a red horse. This is not goldeye, something a bit different. New species for today. See the lovely red on his tail there. Little suckerfish, little red horse from the Red River. Now let's see if we can flip this guy up. Lovely colors on this one. This is a 16-inch. This one is a short-nosed red horse. You can see the short nose he has there. Lovely colors, preparing for fall season. Let's get him back to the water. This fish has not been out of the water too long, but I just want to keep an eye on him. If he doesn't turn around and swim off, we might need to get him and just revive him a bit. He turned around. There he goes. You can see the red of his tail as he's swimming off. So happy to see him go. All good. Our third little fish for today landed. Now, night crawlers might not be the best bait to use out there, especially with all of the bait fish I see jumping around. These fish are maybe looking for the bait fish at the moment. There are quite a lot of species out there. We'll go for night crawlers. As you saw now, we got a catfish, a goldeye, and a little red horse. It just takes a time longer for the baits to soak, for the fish to be okay with the thing, and they need to feed, so they will go for it eventually. Feeling a lot of head shakes again, and some heaviness. This fish is not swimming away, it's just kind of heavy. Also not really going where I want him to. But there we go, another species for today. This is a little walleye. Alright, so this little guy actually swam in a different direction that I was trying to get him, and because of that, our rod got stuck in the tree. So it took a bit of a while to get this fish off the hook. So I just want to keep him in the water, keep him oxygenated, so we can quickly have a look at our fish. Little walleye landed. Another species for today on the night crawlers. Lovely green on the back, white on the tail, a black dot. Alright, this guy looks ready to go. Just gonna drop him head first, and off he goes. See, he swam off. Alright, another species landed out there today, but now quickly need to get our rod out of the tree. There we go, another fish on. We have some deer there across the way. Even though we're in the middle of town, there's some deer playing. Doubt that this camera can see all the way there. Here we go, we're bringing our fish in. This time around, it's a smaller channel catfish. At least we're still getting some bites out there. Don't want to be catching a bunch of small catfish. There we go, catfish landed. Let's get him back to the water. Off he goes. There we go, another little red horse. Short-nosed red horse. Lovely little fish. Let's get him back to the water. There he goes. Alright, ladies and gents, we started off this morning catching a little channel catfish and then kind of got quiet, and after messing around a bit with the setup we're using out there, we happened to get a few more fish later in the afternoon. And all in all, pretty good day with a bunch of species that we got out there. Now, right now it's 2 p.m, so there's still a lot of time for fishing, but I still need to catch a bus ride home. I think I need to do that before the afternoon commute. I am a little bit smelling of fish. Of course, I see it as success, but it is smell of fish. It's the best to think of other people. That is why I want to take the bus ride before it gets too crowded. And that is part of why I wanted to do this video, just as a little privilege check. You don't always have to drive 100 kilometers to go do some fishing. You can find some good fishing in your local areas. Now, adding to that, this is a random Wednesday, and not everyone can do some fishing on a Wednesday. That is why I do these videos. So if you can't make it out there, at least you can go fishing with me in spirit. I want to thank you guys for tagging along. And please do like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. And remember the Finally Fishing fundraiser, that's still ongoing. So whenever you can, please feel free to go make a donation. There will be a link down in the description for the GoFundMe as well. Right, but that's going to be this video. And I thank you guys for following me out here at the Forks. Hope you enjoyed the video. And like always, I'll see you next time.